That is the most important thing is number 2, believe. You have to believe it before you receive it.
So you're visualizing.
You're
Like,
visualizing,
yeah.
you are feeling it, you're excited, you're like bursting at the seams because you know it's coming.
Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your host, Carly. So today we're going to manifest some magic. But before we get into that, I just want to say that I did start the salt water.
Yes.
And let me tell you, you're going to be so proud. I ended up drinking 3 glasses of water yesterday and 4 the day before because I feel like with the salt water, those trace minerals makes you crave more water.
I love that.
Yeah, I was really shocked. Like, I don't think I've drank that much water in 20 years.
I'm so happy you're hydrated. Your skin is glowing. How about that?
Thanks. I mean, it really did make a difference. So if you're like me and you struggle with getting water in, try the trace mineral Celtic salt. A little bit goes a long way, and you'll see yourself really craving more water throughout the day. But also, listening back to last week's episode about the morning and the night routines, I realized that I skipped the most precious golden nuggets of my morning and night routine.
Okay.
So I just want to throw those in quick because it kind of coincides with our episode today. So what I do in the morning, I said I stumble down the stairs and get my coffee. That's a lie. The first thing I do when I open my eyes is I think of 3 to 5 things that I'm immediately grateful for. So I start my day grateful and I end my day grateful. So yeah, you could pick anything. I'm grateful I just opened my eyes. I'm grateful for this warm bed. I'm grateful for the coffee I'm about to have. It could be so small.
Okay.
But you're grateful.
Okay, I love that. That's amazing. I need to start doing that for sure.
Oh, it's a good little trick.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I do immediately before I even step downstairs is I make my bed. So automatically within the first 5 minutes of being awake, you've already accomplished something without even leaving your bedroom. And that for me just helps me kind of feel like, okay, sets the tone for the day. We're going to have a productive day. So that was the 2 that I forgot in the morning routine. In my night routine, which is so important to me, is in the shower, I have a mantra. And it could be anything for anybody. But for me, I envision the water washing away any negativity, any stress, anything that I felt throughout the day, whether it be at work or with the kids, anything that was heavy and I don't want to hold it anymore. I literally wash it away and it just helps me kind of regroup, refresh before I go to bed. And then while I'm in bed, literally the last thing I do is again, pick 3 to 5 things that I am truly grateful for. It just puts you in this abundant energy where you're able to manifest.
I say a prayer at night. Some nights I forget, but I definitely need to start doing that in the morning. I think that's so great. You start the day with gratitude. That makes so much sense.
It has changed my life. I've been doing this since I was in high school, and it's just stuck with me.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
So diving into today's episode is all about that manifestation, because I'm a huge believer of it. And I'm slowly getting Emily on board to becoming her own little master manifester as well. So what started this for me was the book, The Secret.
Okay.
And this was a game changer for my life. It's all about the power of positive thinking. It's about believing not only in yourself, but believing that you are worthy of anything that you really, truly want. You know, you are deserving as a human being. Why can't you manifest this? Why can't you have that dream job? Why can't you have that dream house? You know, and I'm not saying you're going to manifest everything.
Yeah. So basically the secret is the law of attraction, and that thought alone can influence the circumstances in one's life. That's like the definition of it. This is what the book is about. There's been 2 movies made. It makes sense to me. I believe in it. I know a ton of people who do what you do. I've listened to different podcasts on it. It's, as an entrepreneur, that's talked about a lot, successful people having kind of that very positive mindset. I like to think that I'm a positive person in general, but the manifesting is not something that I do on the regular, but I would love to get more into it. So you're going to give us a little lesson.
So yeah, I would say definitely what starts off is being grateful. That feeling of being grateful, even if something horrible happened that day, right? There's always something that you can truly pick apart and be grateful for. Even just the small thing of, I'm so thankful for this hot water. I am so thankful for the food that I was able to eat at dinner. It doesn't have to be anything huge. We should take gratitude in the small things in life, because then the big things are really something to celebrate, you know?
Yeah.
But it's all about switching your mindset to think more positive, less negative. So instead of sitting there and thinking, why is this happening to me? Why did this just happen? You switch it to, what is this teaching me? Because literally in life, everything happens to teach you, and you learn from it, and it's a stepping stone in your journey. Not every day is going to go perfect, but those days that don't go perfect are truly more important, because you are humbled. You gain that extra wisdom. So in order to appreciate the good in life, you have to know what bad feels like, you know? Because
that makes
if
sense.
everything is good, you're not going to appreciate it. Everything is just too perfect. And so switching the mindset first off to, why is this happening, to what is this teaching? Little things like that will really start to make your energy feel more positive, more gratitude. And that alone will attract more things to make you feel gratitude, to make you feel positive. That's the law of attraction. From there, in order to feel good, you have to protect your energy. So this is something that I just started really understanding this past year or two, is your energy is so valuable to not only you, but to your family, your friends. You know, we all put out an energy. Some of us are positive, inspired, and some of us are just complainers, and they're never satisfied, or they want to talk shit about everybody, or, you know, whoever, whatever. You have to start protecting your energy by who you choose to hang out with. I'm not saying cut all your friends out. You could have a million acquaintances, right? But limit the time that you spend, and really have high standards for your inner circle. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. There's definitely negative people around. You know, I can think of some off the top of my head, and I don't think that they realize maybe how negative they are, but nothing ever goes their way. They're always complaining, why me, woe is me, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that will literally lower your vibration just by being around it. They say negativity is contagious, but so is positivity. So if you truly select your inner circle to people who try and make you feel the best you can be, or inspire you to be the best you can be, that's going to really have an effect on you. Psychologically, physically, you know, it's your energy is your life. So if you fill it with good energy, you're going to feel good. You're going to think more positive, and more things are going to be attracted to you. If you're negative Nancy, woe is me, guess what? You're going to keep falling into things that make you feel that way. And setting high standards has been such, I mean, like I said, I'm not cutting people out of my life, because I think everybody deep down is truly special and they teach you something, right? But my immediate everyday people is very small right now, because I've been protecting my energy, and I've never felt better than I do today because of that one simple trick that I did last year. It's incredible.
It's awesome. It's hard, I think, to be aware of that, but it does make total sense. I don't know. I feel like all the things we talk about like this, you make me realize that I kind of maybe already do that and don't realize that I'm doing it. Like I try to limit some exposure with maybe certain family or friends, like you're saying, or whatever, just to, because they're like that. And you don't really realize, but you want to hang around with the people who are fun and have that high vibe, like that high vibration. Yeah.
And they don't even have to necessarily be fun all the time. Like, you are enabled to have bad days and to feel all the feels. I'm not saying you're going to feel positive every single day, but if you're able to switch that mindset from why is this happening to what is this teaching, you learn from things more so, and it's hard to explain.
Like, how do we do it? Like, it's a 3-step process, basically, to manifest. You're going to ask, believe, and then receive. So how does that look? Like, what would be an example?
So, step 1, ask. You think of something that you truly want, something that's really important to you. You know, it could be something so small as the right parking spot. You're running late. Oh, just please, universe, I want this. You ask, I want. Believe is you're picturing yourself pulling into that spot. You're feeling the feels of how it's going to be when you pull into that spot. You literally train yourself to think that you already have it. That's the most important step, is number 2.
Okay.
You can ask a million times, right?
Well, that's what I think people do, including myself. We always ask, but...
Right. People make fun of me because oftentimes they're like, well, what's your plan B? And I'm like, there's no plan B. I'll never forget on my wedding day, we were getting married outside. The forecast said rain. Everyone's panicked the day before. What is the plan B? What is the plan B? And I'm like, guys, there's no plan B. It's not going to rain. It's going to be sunshine. And I'm happy I just said that because it brought up another fact, is the way that you word things. So I should not have said, it's not going to rain. Not as a negative word, right? So you don't want to put that into what you're trying to manifest, because all the universe is going to hear is not. Your negativity has more power than your positivity.
Okay.
So the law of attraction is it's going to hear the word not, and it's going to rain, you know? Where if you word it where I believe and I know that it's going to be a beautiful day. The universe did not hear any negativity. Therefore, it brought me the most beautiful day on my wedding. And everyone looked at me like, who are you?
Your wedding day was perfect.
It was literally hailing in the town over. And on the other side, it was pouring rain. And around us was the most beautiful day. And I truly believe it was the way that I approached it. There was no plan B. There was no tents. We got married outside. Things like this happen to me all the time because I have learned this at a very young age. So I've been practicing this for 20 years now. And it like I'm shaking right now because it just fuels me up with like the best energy possible, you know? But so that is the most important thing, is number 2, believe. You have to believe it before you receive it.
So you're visualizing.
You're visualizing.
Yeah.
You are feeling it. You're excited. You're like bursting at the seams because you know it's coming. You just have that faith.
Okay.
And I mentioned that in the beginning of the first episode, is trust. I have full trust because so many magical things have happened to me that I'd be a fool not to be aware of these things and believe in it. Because there's just, I mean, the birth of my second son was so traumatic. We weren't sure if he was going to live. And I kept, like, they didn't know what was wrong with him. They told me, prepare yourself because there's a chance that you might not bring him home. And I disregarded it. I didn't ever let myself, I mean, I could cry right now because it was so scary. But I just remember, like, I believe this little boy is coming home with me. There's no other option. I'm bringing him home. And I saw like this black cat one of the mornings that we went to see him. And I was like, that's a sign. That's magic, whatever. I associate black cats with magic. And I just went into that hospital and I told the doctor, I'm bringing him home today. I'm telling you, we were waiting on his blood work. And if the blood work miraculously tripled in levels, then we'd be able to bring him home. And the doctor the day before was like, it doesn't happen. It doesn't miraculously triple overnight. Sure as shit, it tripled. And I brought that little boy home.
Yeah. That's
And
incredible.
it gives me chills to this
I have
day.
chills too.
Gives me chills because if anything is possible, miracles happen. But you got to start it with how you feel and believe and trust. So until you feel that, it's never going to come. That's why I'm saying step 2 is the most important part to manifest it. So along with all of these, right, you could be trying to do this all day, but what if you're surrounded by people at work who are just negative and you're having a really hard time protecting your peace? Because that happens and it's really hard. That's where my nighttime mantra in the shower helps me, because I'm literally washing away. I wash away anything that has stayed with me that day that shouldn't really, it's not mine to hold on to. You got to kind of know what is yours to hold and what is not yours to hold. Easier said than done, because my heart breaks when somebody's going through something or I witness something at work or, so some days are harder and I just stay in the shower a little bit longer. I give myself even a good cry on those hard days. And you're literally just releasing. You have to think of it as just a huge release. You're not in there just to shave your legs and wash your hair. It's a full body wash, mind, body, spirit. You're cleansing. And that's why I typically do it at night, because, you hold on to so much energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
So much is thrown at you that are out of your control. And that's where you can just kind of reset yourself before you go to bed. And you can meditate. You can journal before bed. Whatever helps you the most, just kind of let go and bring yourself back to a grounded spot.
So then with ask, believe, receive isn't necessarily day of.
No, good point.
So like you're waiting on that. That's like,
good point.
And you have to be aware to see it, obviously.
Yeah. And, I didn't win the lottery ticket.
Yeah. It's coming, girl. It's coming.
Yeah, maybe it is. But I mean, you're not going to literally manifest everything, because rejection is redirection. So there are certain things that I believe are not meant for you. And it's protection from the universe. So if you didn't get the job that you thought you wanted, it's because something better is around the corner. So, and it also keeps you humble, because what if you got everything you wanted in life? We see people like that a lot. They appreciate nothing. So I'm happy I don't manifest everything I want, because I would be a spoiled little brat. You manifest what you truly need. And I have manifested so many things that I am so grateful for. My husband, my kids, my house, my family. I mean, you manifest before you even come into this world, right? Because they say you choose your parents. I manifested the best parents I could have asked for. I manifested the best grandparents and in-laws, sister and brother, friends. I've drawn those people into my life before I even knew I needed them.
Wow. That is a powerful thought.
Yeah. And I like having these rose-colored glasses on because, like I said, the world is not always sunshine and butterflies. It's very easy to get sucked down into this deep, dark hole. And I really love the way that I look at life. I really do. I don't take anything for granted. I don't take any day for granted. I'm just so appreciative, and I see the beauty in the sunrise. I see the beauty in a tree covered in ice. I just see beauty everywhere because I'm just so filled with gratitude for every step in my life. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I can truly thank people in my life who kind of put me through a lot, because it taught me so much. And that just leads to one thing that leads to another, that leads to another. And some doors open in your life that you would have never realized if you didn't go through that.
Yeah, I get that.
That makes sense?
Yeah, totally. Such a better way to feel about life certain days.
Yeah, just start filling your life and your thoughts with positivity. it really does set the ball in motion for how your day is going to go, or
Yeah.
your week, or your year.
So I guess my question is too, I feel like I'm a student of yours, but I need all the info. I have this thing that happens to me where, I don't want to call it a sixth sense. I feel like that's not right, but someone will pop into my head, or basically that's it. Someone pops into my head, or I think about someone, or I have a dream about them, or whatever, and then they'll text me, or I'll bump into them at Target, or I get a phone call or whatever, and it's wild. I'm like, holy moly, I was just thinking about you. Or what I'm trying to do now is when I do think of someone, I'll even reach out. Like maybe this is the universe telling me to reach out, like a sign. Yeah. But why does that happen? Like, I know that it happens to other people, obviously, too, but I'll be like, that's so weird. I was just thinking about you. I can't believe you just called.
Right. Right. I mean, I don't know the scientific reason for that, but to me, what I believe is it's a mix of manifestation and serendipity. It's magic. That's the magic of life.
Like you needed to see them, or you needed to hear their voice, or get a little bit of
or
them.
Maybe that person needed to see you. Maybe you are such a gift to that person, your energy, your positivity, I mean, whatever it is. Maybe they just needed you for that minute. And that reminds me of so I work at the hospital and I work in the ER, 4th, 5th, 6th, telemetry, on all of them. I never know where I'm going. So I call in, I ask, hey, where am I headed today? Oh, you're going to the ER. There's some times where I get placed on a floor that's not my favorite, right? But I look at each day as, okay, the universe is literally putting me where I am needed that day, because somebody needed my patience or my different approach to nursing. Something led me to that floor that day, to that patient that day, or that person I needed in my life. I needed to learn a little lesson from them. They had little sparks of wisdom that landed in me, So
Yeah, that's incredible.
Literally, I like to think that everything happens for a reason. You're guided. We're all little, on this crazy little magical, I don't know how you would say it. It's a premeditated, and it's just a fun way to look at life.
I was just going to say that. It is like an incredible way to see each day, truthfully.
Yeah. And it doesn't hurt anyone, it doesn't hurt anyone. I feel sorry for the ones that haven't learned that trick yet.
Yeah.
Because I was there one time and I saw everything in, dark, and why me? And it just manifested more things to make me not happy. And that's why I said you can only appreciate the good when you've seen how bad things can be, know? And yeah, I just hope today kind of inspires some people to look on the bright side.
I love it. Well, I have a funny little story. Can I share it? It's about you.
Oh, do tell.
Okay. So just with your manifestation powers, let me just tell you. So Carly and her husband host a party every summer for all of our friends. It's so fun. I mean, how many years? 11, 12 years, 13?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think we're on 11 years. It's my favorite day of the year.
It's the best day of the year. So anyway, a couple years ago, we picked the date ahead of time, kind of like make sure everybody can come. My husband was not going to be able to come. He works shift work, and he was going to be taking another shift for someone else. And he's like, there's no way I can get out of it. Sorry, I can't come. And Carly was like, no, we're not doing that. She's like, I think you're definitely, I don't even know how you worded it. Like, you're going to get it covered. And it's going to be somebody with the name, starts with J. And he was like, okay, because that's not going to happen. And sure enough, he put it out there to a couple people, and he got his shift covered, the extra shift he was doing, and I believe his regular shift. And guess who took the shifts for him? Jay. Like, his name is Jay. Jay. It was incredible. And she was like, I told you. Just so positive, so matter of fact. It's insane. Like the power that you hold or just the manifesting, like just
Yeah, it's not me.
knowing how to do it. It's
I can't take
incredible.
I can't take any credit for this. This is from the power of positive thinking, the law of attraction.
Matt and I were
And
shocked.
oh, I know. I get chills sometimes with how much it works, you know? And I feel like it really only works like when you really want it to or when you really need it to, you know? Because like I said, you're not going to win the lottery. You might not get the parking spot, but just think of it as like, okay, for some reason, this is just not meant to be. It's just not, you know? But yeah, those are my highlights. Really protecting your energy, believing that your hard left was meant to happen, you know?
Right. So what are
And
a couple things people can do today? Like what can someone do today to start manifesting or start the practice of it?
yeah, so first thing, start practicing with small things, right? Like I said, the parking spot. The next time you drive, wherever you're going, picture the best parking spot right next to the store. Believe in it, feel it, imagine yourself doing it. You can do literally anything that you want, but this is just a small example, the parking spot. They write it in the book. So practice the ask, believe, receive. Ask, believe, receive. Really remember those 3 steps and really remember that step 2 is your key. So practice believing it, feeling it, thinking it, just embody it fully. And then what I would also start doing today is list of things that you're grateful for. And then it really makes you kind of open up and you're like, wow, I have so much to be grateful for. The list could go on and on and on. It really, I have to cut myself off sometimes because I'm like, I am so thankful for this sock. I am so thankful, like you can literally go down a rabbit hole of just things that you're grateful for. But it just fuels that power inside you for greatness and gratitude and abundance. And you're just going to attract more and more and more things that make you feel so thankful.
What about a vision board?
Oh, I love it. Great idea. Yes, I'm obsessed with vision boards. I do like 3 a year. We just did one on New Year's Eve with my kids. I'm so happy you brought that up because, yeah, that's a huge tool is a vision board.
I've done them before and you and I have done them. But I right now, it's just coming to my head that I get that the vision board is manifesting, but when I've manifested, I've never visualized it. I've just been thinking of things I want. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just kind of connecting the dots. So I'm like, wow, this is really full circle.
You were only practicing step 1.
Yeah. Just oh, that would be so nice or,
Yeah.
But
no, vision board for sure. And make it I have one right in the hallway between my kitchen and living room. So I look at it every single day.
Yeah, you have to look at it every day.
Yeah, you have to remind yourself of your goals, of the things that matter most, of the things you're grateful for. And yeah, I'm so happy you brought that up. And then one more thing that you can do starting today is switch the script. Remember I said it's all about how you word things. So get rid of the negative. No, not. All those little words is what the universe will hear. You want to eliminate those. So instead of saying, I'm sick, no, you're not. You're healing.
Right.
Immediately, it's a positive. Immediately, it switches the vibe, the energy within you from I'm sick to I am healing. So you're getting better and better and better. If you say I'm sick, you're going to feel worse and worse and worse. You see?
Oh, yeah.
So those are my little tricks that you can start today. But
amazing.
I honestly believe number 1 thing you should do today is buy the book, The Secret. It sells it on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, wherever you want to go. That book literally changed my life at 17. And it continued. You can reread it throughout your whole life and find new meaning It's it's like the Holy Bible for me. It is such a magical tool. Some days you can either just like think of something and flip to a random page and read that page and it makes sense. And it just gives you that little pep in your step for the day. It's my all-time #1 favorite book.
And I will be reading it because I have not. I have watched one of the movies, which was really cool. But I have never taken the time to read the book. Obviously, I've known about it for forever. But I don't know. It's been out for what, 20, 22 years or something like that? Oh, it's been around for a while. Yes, I have to read it. I cannot wait. I'm excited. You got me all pumped up.
Oh, good. You could take my copy so you don't have to wait for it. So I'm going to leave you with a quote, as always. I'm not sure who this is from. I feel bad. I'm sure somebody really incredible wrote this, but I just found it today and I was like, I love this. This goes hand in hand with protecting your energy. So it goes, people either inspire you or drain you. Pick them wisely.
Perfection. Awesome. Thank you so much for listening today, and we hope that this will help you feel inspired until next week. And as always, keep it good.